legends in the making, they fight. Kyle and Jacob will lead you tonight. So lay down your arms, there's no chance of victory. You punk ass bitches, they're better than the rest of me. Yeah, yeah.
Hello and
Hey.
welcome back.
Hi.
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 Oh. We're going to get this. I know we're going to get this. We're really good at everything.
We're not.
Right up everything, I think.
We're not.
Not everything.
We're not.
I am Kyle.
I'm Jacob.
And we are better than
The Restini. We got
Jacob,
that though. We
It
always
almost sounded like a question when you said it.
the
just then.
Restini.
The Restini?
Well, I am. Episode 5. I'm starting to question whether or not we truly are better than the Restini.
Yeah, we've had enough time to see in game that some of us certainly aren't.
Some of
I
us
don't-
definitely are. Yeah. Anyway, so faithful listeners, thank you for tuning in. Episode 5 of the
Mhm.
podcast.
true.
Kyle.
And Jacob.
I
No,
wasn't
sorry.
going there, but
Thought we were just
that
calling roll
works-
again.
That works with me too. Here, present.
So episode 5, what does it hold for us?
You tell me.
I will tell you.
You tell us.
The listeners and Jacob are both finding out at the same time this episode. He's so excited.
I am very excited. Patiently waiting.
Within this episode, we do have, back by popular demand, another episode of Living Better Than the Restini with PJ.
Of course.
He's been
I
changing
feel like
lives.
that's what makes the podcast.
He's
at this
been
point.
changing lives.
That's why we put it a ways in, because if we let off with it, I mean, people would just tune us out there.
Immediately.
Yeah.
It's like the news. You save the terrifying.
They get to look forward to it.
Yeah, you save it to the end.
Ebola outbreak in 10, but first, puppies on parade.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's our PJ.
That's how they sell
Living
the
better
ad
than the
space.
Restini.
And Paul is the Ebola and we're the puppies on parade.
We do have.
By the way, side note,
I like
as
that.
I was coming to the studio today, I did pass a craft fair.
Speaking of puppies on parade,
I was very tempted to just call this episode off.
it's a quaint little town we live
In
in. The
lieu.
studio is in.
The studio on the
Craft
17th
shows.
floor of
We're the only skyscraper.
Uncle Bob's
apparently.
Road, FM 895.
It's Mayberry downstairs.
Anyway,
but up
if
here-
you like craft shows like me, well, text us and let us know.
no, do not even start.
972.
7-2. No,
okay. All right. So, Kyle, what do we have in store for our faithful listeners?
Other
today?
than the Living Better Than the Restini, we have.
Other than that.
We also have it's a slightly different segment of giving back to the Restini. We still have a pretty hard time with people tweeting us.
Giving back.
We have more than 100 followers, but nobody will tweet us. I feel like all of them don't know how to use Twitter.
I personally don't know how. I'm not even on Twitter.
Yeah, I
Do we
know.
have a Twitter?
Yes, we have a Twitter. If
Okay.
you'd like to follow us, but somehow I would imagine that if you're listening to the podcast, you already do and don't know how to tweet us. It is at the Restini.
See, we're working back and forth there. See, I set them up.
Uh-huh.
You knock them down.
Yep.
Easy, breezy, beautiful cover girl. That's my new catchphrase.
Easy.
by the way.
I feel like that catchphrase has been used before.
I
No?
don't think it has. I think I just came up with it on the spot.
Well, it's genius then.
Yeah.
We have we piloted it. That does not sound right. We piloted it last episode with Jesse. We have Uncle Jesse's.
We suggested it. We suggested it being a thing. We didn't pilot it.
We suggested it. Jesse
This
loves
isn't
the
a Malaysian
opportunity.
flight.
No.
But the results will probably be the same.
Similar.
Unfortunately, so.
A lot of lost lives.
Lot-
But oh my
A
god.
lot of innocent souls.
Just
Too soon.
so Uncle
Wow.
Jesse's
And-
Uncle Jesse's Bitch Fest.
Yeah,
It's going to
there
be
we go.
great. It's going to be excellent. But we've been fairly lucky. We've managed to have a guest every episode.
We have our wonderful friends.
And
Or-
unfortunately, this episode we don't have one. That's right. I
Yeah.
tricked you, Keither. You get to sit in here and watch us.
Well, you just
Watch us podcast.
You just
I
you
introduced
just
him.
Spoiled it. You
I
went
introduced
really
him.
quickly. We do have a guest today.
Here he is.
Oh, should I do the
Do
honors?
it. I'd love for you to.
All right. Well, Ryan, are you there? You can talk now.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, all
Thanks-
right.
Thanks for
Now
allowing me.
you are allowed.
This is
to speak.
Ryan. Ryan is also another member of Better Than
The Restini.
See, that was a three-way
Excellent.
Restini.
Even our
Anyway,
guest hosts are getting better at this.
Yeah. so Ryan, first things first. as Ryan also, like many of you, is a faithful listener to the podcast, so
Mhm.
he understands the requirements now of him to tell his life story in vivid detail to all of the listeners, starting from,
Well,
mid elementary.
it's more of a
onward.
gaming bio.
Yeah, give us
is
a
what-
gaming bio. Let us know. I mean, we're all gamers. Everyone that's been on the show thus far, and
Mhm.
you're no exception to that rule. So give us a little gaming history and let us know kind of where you stand in terms of your gaming likes and experience and all that.
Fair enough. So I pretty much started out on Nintendo 64. I can still remember the Christmas that I got Mario 64. I stayed up till like 2 in the morning playing the crap out of that. Still, I think is one of my favorite games of all time. But I mean, since then, pretty much have been on Xbox. So the regular Xbox 360 and now the One. Pretty much an FPS guy. Battlefield has been my jam for a while now. So
Yeah.
played a little bit of Halo, like that. Call of Duty after Modern Warfare 3 pretty much ended it for me. But yeah, I'm pretty much just an FPS guy.
Wait. You
first-
like FPS shooters, like first-person shooters?
No,
There's a game you have
frames
got
per
to try.
second.
Tell me.
Destiny.
Ah,
Oh my god, I cannot believe we've yet to mention this to him.
What a
We've been
segue.
friends.
We were gonna.
Segue. Or
We
just
actually had.
stupid- I think it
we
was more
actually
of a
had
stupid
Ryan
joke.
on to
Yeah.
talk to us about cars and other. This was going to
Yeah,
be
we-
that
yeah,
episode.
we
a
can
segue.
do that. I
So
can-
oil pans.
First
huh?
things, hard hitting questions. Ryan, why are you such a shill for Microsoft?
Why are you?
I don't know.
such a
I'm an
shit?
Apple guy in every other facet. It's
Uh-huh.
just yeah. I
Mhm.
guess
Cut his mic. He's clearly
He's lost it.
clearly rambling here. So anyway, Ryan is with us today to talk about Destiny. I guess
Yeah.
maybe
Well,
yeah
I
probably.
suppose.
If we had to come up with a clever phrase for it, let's call it, "Is this my destiny?"
Oh, God.
so many levels.
Oh Lord.
Do you get it? Do you get it?
Oh,
It's-
God.
It's cute and clever. We
Oh
get it.
God.
No, and it's funny. My wife actually finally listened to the podcast, and she goes, "You guys complain about it a lot. You have a lot of bad things to say about it. Why do you spend so much time playing it?"
Well, again, and I've kind of touched on this before. There's a difference between not liking a game and complaining
Right.
about a game. Like if I genuinely don't like a game, I won't complain about it because I won't be playing it
have
because
no
I don't
idea.
care.
Yeah.
If I complain about a game, it's kind of a double-edged sword. I enjoyed enough to be persistently
Right.
playing it, but I want it to be better because of the fact that I
Oh,
enjoyed
I
it so
almost
much.
said
So
ban
it's
the
like-
Destiny. I thought that's
Yeah.
where we were going.
I
Sorry.
wanted it to be. Yeah.
Oh.
I wanted it to go there, but you kind of interjected a little quickly. It's okay. We're still working out the kinks. So anyway,
No, but I'm in the same boat with this game specifically. So I've been playing Destiny since literally the night it came out.
Mhm.
Jacob, you and I were playing that first night for I don't know 8 hours or
we
something.
played a long
right?
time.
Yeah, it was
I
pretty
didn't.
ridiculous.
I didn't sleep till I hit 20. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
I got a lot of group me text of Jacob consuming margarita, or what were they?
oh yeah, that's right.
The strawberries.
Well,
every time you
yes.
leveled.
Bud Light has a wonderful product line.
Those pictures might end up on our on our Instagram.
The dash, the Dasharitas, whether it's
Yes, that's what it is.
strawberry or apple Ritas or lime-aritas. Anyway,
It made it a whole new
They were
different experience for
delicious.
him. But sorry, Ryan, back to, I guess, on topic.
Well, so I was going to make the point that I started playing this game with high expectations. Austin hyped this game up to
Mhm.
everybody.
Mhm.
To everybody, to me,
Yeah.
and so I was really amped for it. And that first night, it was pretty fun.
Mhm.
And we all know the challenges. I mean, we've talked ad nauseum
Right.
in our clan about this. You guys have talked about it on podcasts before.
Mm.
But there is something about this game that brings you back to it, and I think it's the game mechanics. That's at least to me what it boils down to. So I think the environment, just the visuals,
So pretty.
as well as just the FPS controls, it's all there. I
You
mean,
can jump?
yeah, you can go forward, you can
You
go
can double
backward,
jump?
you can crouch.
Yeah. They nailed it.
Yeah,
They
which I never crouch. I don't know why that's in there.
Oh, I crouch.
I
I'm
wish I could
constantly
lay prone,
crouching.
though.
When you crouch, it makes the double jump that much more impressive
Yeah.
because you're going from one knee to really high into the sky. Nobody.
But it's actually
nobody in the room.
mine's more of a
Just laid
glide
out
and
on
less
me.
of a double
Oh,
jump.
yeah.
So,
Mine is just a double
Yours
jump.
is not a double jump. Yours is a lift.
Yeah, it's a lift and then a slow fall. So in PvP,
It's
I'm a
not
very
necessarily
slow-moving
a-
target.
It's not a slow fall all the time. Sometimes it's an abrupt crashing,
Yeah, that's
miserable
true.
failure. Where we're like, all right, Kyle, let's jump across this chasm, and he's gone.
Big chasm.
Speaking
So-
of chasms,
oh,
real quick.
here we
though,
go.
Have you guys tried to jump the Hellmouth yet?
No, I
do
saw
not.
it.
I do not have a blade dancer, so I
Nope.
have not
I
given
saw
it
the
a shot.
video. Did
Nope.
you do it?
No, I
Oh.
don't have the ability. I'm a Titan. Come on.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm really good
I
at
might
not
make it
remembering
to
what
the
our
edge.
guests play.
Well, I'm trying to think because a striker titan, you can get kind of a good little leap there. Like obviously not to the degree of a blade dancer, but I think you can make a pretty valiant effort.
and you can kind of aim it like you can aim your
Yeah.
Fist of Havoc.
Yep.
Yeah. Good Lord.
God,
It's
is that
early.
that ability of the class that you play?
My main. Yeah, the Fist of Havoc. You can aim that.
Your main,
can-
your only?
No, not necessarily. Yeah.
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 Oh, sad day.
My ult is I'm married and I don't get
Words,
to play.
how do they work?
I don't get to play.
Anyway, Kyle, reeling us back in on topic
Always.
as he always does. Wait, no, it's me.
This time it is you. So mechanics.
Yes. So look, this game to me is pretty atrocious when it comes to storyline. Again, don't need to beat that horse
Yeah,
again.
We beat that horse episode 3.
Right. But, if bringing it back to cars, if you compared this game to a car,
Wow.
I don't know. No, hang
It's
on.
gonna
If,
work.
if you guys remember back in like the, I don't know, I guess late 90s, early 2000s, guys were taking Pontiac Fieros
Yeah.
and putting Lamborghini body kits on it to make them look like a Diablo. You guys have any idea what I'm talking
remember
about?
I don't remember that.
I
Okay,
do
Google
actually.
it.
I was a
Google it.
child.
Google
in
it.
the 90s.
But
So
for
precise.
me, that's what this game is. You've got the mechanics of a really good game here, and it looks like a Lamborghini, but it drives like a fucking Fiero. It's there's nothing that once you get inside of it and start going, there's really nothing that wants you to keep perpetuating it. But
My friend, have you ever driven a Fiero? It
no,
was
actually,
a
I haven't.
beautiful machine.
Or
I had a friend in
a
high
Lamborghini
school.
for that matter.
Yeah, I know. Who had a Fiero? Like butter.
I drove a Honda.
Yeah, I had a Civic.
I had a Dodge Stratus that
Nice.
caught on fire.
Okay.
And then I had a Honda Accord. It was
I drove a
lovely-
1991 Rally Sport Camaro 5-liter black.
Mm.
It was so fast.
I drove a Hyundai.
I acquired several speeding.
I
tickets
drive
this year.
a Hyundai.
Yeah,
I
but
do,
Yours
as
is
well.
nicer than my little old Tiburon that I had. I blew the motor in that and 3 alternators. That car got beat to crap in the
Wow.
like 8 years that I had it.
See, you can't bring cars into it because then we get
No,
distracted.
yeah, we'll just get distracted. But the point that I was trying to make there is that you've got this product that I feel like was underdeveloped in a lot of senses. But there is this driving factor that keeps me coming back and playing for whatever reason,
Mhm.
and it is not you guys. I hate playing with you guys.
Fair enough. Understandably.
So, but I think there's a lot of area for improvement, and you've got a fantastic foundation to do that.
Yeah, I mean, like again, the main issue is just that the game seems incomplete as it is right now, and that's frustrating in a sense that when you pay for a game and when you have these expectations and they're not met, and it's like the whole sort of story is, well, just wait. Here we'll have the DLC, we'll have all this other stuff that'll kind of fill in the gaps and make it better. Like, sure, if that comes and that's the case, like that's fine, but it doesn't necessarily excuse for sort of the mishaps that are happening right now.
Yeah, but they've listened. Obviously, you guys talked about the Iron Banner stuff.
They heard us.
Yeah, I mean,
That's the only
everything
thing I
that
can
Jacob
chalk that
put
up
out
to.
there, I think they pretty much addressed, right? I
Yeah.
mean, leaving games, the incentive to play, the challenge of
No, I mean, like, that was the thing is, I'm glad that they're addressing things, but the fact that it takes like the frustration of the entire Destiny community to like get anything done,
Yeah.
and there are still these big glaring needs, especially in like the PvE side. There's so much that
Yep.
needs to be balanced, and so much bugs that need to be fixed, and as as much as I complained about like, oh, Iron Banner, now they're like, we're addressing Iron Banner. I'm kind of just like, well, what about PvE? Like, all you're doing
I
is
can
just
find something else to
you're
bitch
just
about.
addressing the Crucible. Yeah, like, so I mean, like, I'm still gonna bitch, but I will give them their due if this, if all things happen the way that it's appearing that it should whenever it comes back around. Good on them for taking the initiative to fix that.
Well, and I think Destiny is kind of a game of its own. It attempted to combine frames per second or FPS,
Yes,
and an MMO, and I mean you have these bounties which are like quests in World of Warcraft, which we talk about. It was I would say a bold move to try to combine the two, and so I feel like there are going to be speed bumps while they work out this new genre.
right.
Yeah, but in some ways it should have been done during the alpha and beta phases, I mean, I worry about Bungie a little bit during the Christmas season because that lots of people are going to get Xbox or PlayStation, and they're going to end up with Destiny either in bundles or whatever, and it's going to be rough for them if they get some of these casual gamers coming in and expecting something specific that doesn't deliver right out of the gate.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess we talked about it on I think every episode. A lot of weight sits on the shoulders of that first expansion.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Be sure to cough.
A
into
really
the mic,
rough cough. Yeah, it snuck up on me, then it was gone. No, but I mean, Ryan actually was a very active co-host or guest, I guess. He came and he showed me a few things that he wanted to make sure we talk about, and since I'm kind of the one that moves this thing along,
yeah,
the
pretty much,
yeah. Pretty much. Otherwise,
I am
we ramble about
I'm the
cars.
antithesis. Whenever we've reached 20 minutes, and you're like, stretch it. You're making the stretch it things, and I'm just like, let me tell you about whiskey. I like Irish or rye whiskey.
Oh,
this is good.
So the the aspects that we talked
Like
about
that
here,
right there. That was a weird interjection.
Yes, thank you for that.
we appreciate it though. It's what makes us better than
The
recipe. I tried to do it right in the middle of a drink for Ryan.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. I got the last syllable out, I think.
FPS, MMO.
Yep.
That's
Some amalgamation of the two.
yeah, and
But
Ryan.
not the right parts.
No, and it's too much of certain aspects in regards to FPS in some cases, too MMO, and then not enough MMO and not enough. It's like it's a mix, and I think they're
If
just
you're-
trying to work
well,
out
then
the
what-
percentages.
Well, then what ideally would you have as far as percentages go then? I mean, like you're saying, like I know I understand that it's kind of a weird genre mix when you're going like, it doesn't have this element that I like, doesn't have that element that I like. It's kind of a mashup of both. Okay, so what are the elements we want it to have? What are the elements that I don't know necessarily wish it had, but it doesn't? Or what are the elements that maybe heretofore could be done in some form or fashion with the game?
So here's my problem. You have the FPS part where everything you just shoot all the time, right? You get bosses, you just shoot and shoot and shoot and shoot. There's nothing intelligent about that. The strikes and all the farming stuff that you've got to do, that's sort of the MMO hallmark, become boring because you have that FPS element where nothing's intuitive, right? You're just doing the same thing repeatedly.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're limited in. I've covered this before. You're limited in your interaction with your environment, unlike in an MMO where you have a lot of different move sets and a lot of different ways to do things. Like you're limited to just shooting stuff, honestly.
Well, but they could have even done that a little bit better. So, perfect example, Jacob. The first night that we did the Nexus strike, we were level 10. That's a level 12 strike, if I remember correctly.
I think we were 12 and it was a 14.
Maybe that's it. Maybe whatever it is. Whatever it is.
Semantics. We were 2 levels below.
2 levels below. And I remember the first thing that happened when we got into that strike, I was like, there are all these glowing boxes everywhere. And I was like, shoot the boxes. It's got to be something. And some of them blew up, right? I think the blue ones or whatever.
The yellow ones.
And so
it's okay.
Whatever.
You're over 2, but
yeah.
Details.
I'm just gonna leave now.
No,
Where's
I'll show myself out.
yeah? Where's the receptionist and the beer fridge?
We don't validate.
I'll just go sit in the lobby. But seriously, in a strike like that, you could have had environmental damage to help you pass the strike, right? Like that would have been more intuitive
great idea.
than just doing that.
Yeah.
That's where I think Destiny got the raid right. And I don't think we've really touched too much in the podcast about the raid elements, but you have
Not in detail.
Yeah, we got it a little bit, but we've never really I like the raid. I think the raid is definitely a.
You guys could spend a whole 3-series thing
Yeah.
on the raid, and I think
And
you
maybe
should.
we will.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably not.
Next.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, don't,
Next episode
Don't ask-
on Better to be continued.
Then we have to have a previously on. Whiskey. That would be on the previously real.
But from the perspective of just the intuitiveness, I think Bungie put all their eggs in the raid basket, and the raid was phenomenal. I actually just ran it this last week for the first time, and I spent most of it hiding behind pillars and things like that because I'm only level 27, so I wasn't really much use to most everybody else I was running with. But everything that I was a spectator to was what I expected the rest of the game to be. And what if Bungie could do that in smaller ways in the strikes and in the story missions and things like that? That's what this game needs.
Well, again, here's hoping, because as far any indication they've given is that the expansions are still, even the one in December. Granted, I haven't heard so much of an update, but as far as a month ago when the game was released, there was still a lot of work being put into these expansions, and they've been relatively receptive to the criticism posed by the different communities of Destiny. So hopefully that's something maybe that they can actually take to heart and incorporate. Because I would love that, because again, it is kind of a drag over and over to just have such a small, insignificantly seeming way to interact with your environment, and it's a really cool environment.
Oh yeah.
And you really want to be able to delve in and do interesting things and have an element of freedom that they kind of promised.
Yep. That
you kind of have, but not quite. But yeah, just having more of an element to interact in a more meaningful way, like they've touched on it somewhat in Vaulted Glass. They've piqued the interest of players like us who are like, that's really cool. I want more things like that.
Right.
And they can follow up with that, and it's like, take my money, Bungie. Like, here, you can have have more of my money, please, because I want this game to be awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that there's a lot of potential too in the PvP stuff, and without going into too much detail, because again, you guys have already hit on that really well, I think. But the hallmark of all the blockbuster FPS games that have been out there in the last decade, the whole Call of Duty franchise, Battlefield. You had, BioShock. All these other games. BioShock's probably not a great example, but the PvP element is why people buy those games.
Right.
It's not the campaign. So I think if Bungie wants to really cater to the FPS audience a little better, FPF. I just created a new genre.
It's hard to say.
Yeah, they're gonna
first person
have to
fruiter.
It's like Fruit Ninja.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Yep, another missed opportunity there. Melee weapons, that would be phenomenal.
Well, the
Like
thing
bananas.
is, it's nice. They already have sort of a system in place that could be incorporated.
Yeah.
Future. God, how many times I run that? Like, if I get a downtime, I'm like, man, I'm gonna run the Sword of Crota mission because it was sweet.
Yeah.
No, I want the fucking Halo sword. What was that thing called?
I think it was called the fucking Halo sword.
The plasma sword.
Oh no,
Plasma
Jacob's
sword.
probably
Okay,
right.
fucking Halo sword is
Master,
way
Master
better.
Chief Collection coming out soon, folks.
Yes.
It is. That's a whole different ballgame. We'll
Oh,
have to
yeah.
talk about all that later. I want to do this. We've talked. Personally, it's been a bit of a downer for me. I hate talking about the pitfalls and the failures throughout the game. So I want to cheer everyone up real quick. And I think I know exactly how to do that.
Are we going PJ's life hack?
And now it is time for bold BJ Hudson's life hacks. Learn from him. Be better than everyone else.
Hello and welcome to Living Better Than the Rest of Me. Having one orgasm a day can add up to 4 years to the rest of your life. I'm going to live forever. Back to you, Kyle and Jacob.
Paul! Oh, God, Paul! Oh, masturbation jokes always get me. Oh,
They're one of the
Paul.
best.
Oh, wow.
I
Well,
don't even have words for
You
that.
just dropped that on us. There was no setup, Kyle. I didn't have a chance to mentally prepare.
I
Neither
know.
did our listeners.
I figured that one.
We're
would be
sorry,
better.
listeners. You guys did not have a chance to mentally prepare for that. That one's on Kyle. We're sitting here
He
talking
can't
about
help it.
mechanics, and then he drops orgasms on you.
There are no pictures of PJ out there on our website or anything, are
We
there?
don't have any.
Because
We don't have any.
I
real
want
pictures.
nobody to visualize that.
We
guy
should- PJ.
touching himself.
PJ, get off the boards and come. No, come in. No,
Get on over here.
come. No, he's
He's
shy.
refusing.
He's
I'm pretty sure he's extending his life over
he's
there.
being an asshole behind the boards. If you want to call in though and tell him while Kyle's drinking, no, he stopped.
Oh,
so he
don't
can
do it.
cut me off before I tell him his number. Anyway, getting back to not masturbation.
If we have to,
I can't.
I can't. I
That's
feel
all I
like
think
the
about
rest of the
now.
episode. No. So in that, there's a lot of solo play that's enjoyable in Destiny. That could be a tie-in.
Oh,
Is that-
God.
no, I don't
Good-
know.
Good transition. But the group play is arguably a lot more fun. And when you get a fire team of 6 people, you know some crazy
It's
shit
gonna get
is
weird.
going down in a big hole in Venus. So
Oh, good. All of our 12-year-old listeners are gonna love that last
They
6 minutes.
are in. They're into that.
No, I do want to talk about just a few more things. And like I said, we have been fairly, I would say, fairly hard on Destiny most of our run, but it is of love. I think.
No, I wouldn't say we've been hard at all. I'd say we have been accurate in our
Semi.
portrayal of our criticisms, and I think
yeah, no, that's true.
no, and it's not being hard on Destiny. It's merely we have criticisms and we are sharing them. Like at the heart, I mean, I still play the game more than regularly.
I don't say daily
Yeah,
for
I
me
mean,
when
like,
I can.
I still play it more than
briefly.
regularly. So Bungie is not losing any sleep over my lack of participation because there isn't any. I'm still participating, but I'm allowing this to be sort of a channel for grievances,
Right.
or not even for grievances, because you know what? We don't want that to be the tone of the podcast. We don't want it to be like, "Hey, this game sucks," because it doesn't suck.
No.
We're obviously putting all this time and effort into talking about this game because we don't feel like it sucks. We
No.
feel like it's a good game and it is a game that has potential.
A lot of potential.
But with that being said, because of our investing of our time and our mental energy and all this stuff, we have, we have hopes for the game. We have hopes. We have desires. We have complaints. I mean, it is a seemingly it's the game isn't so much as it is fixed in stone. It seems like it's a constantly fluid and evolving thing, which I can somewhat appreciate the fact that they're, again, receptive to the criticism and that they're
Right.
at least seemingly addressing some aspects of it.
You know what I think's awesome? I think it's awesome that they can plug in all these different events. So like, and
Mhm.
whatever we think about those events is kind of a moot point at this point. But like, all the Queen's missions, the Iron Banner, the fact that they have the ability to plug in different like gameplay, I think is pretty groundbreaking. I mean, you get some of that stuff, and again, I keep going back to Battlefield because that's what I played at nauseum before I started playing Destiny. Which by the way, I went back the other day when I was real frustrated about something and tried to play around, and it became even more apparent to me how good the game mechanics are in Destiny when I couldn't get up from like a crouching position and the game's glitching and there's server errors and
Yeah.
Destiny so far has been pretty free of a lot of those like random
yeah.
little glitches.
Yeah.
Microsoft has issues with party chat and whatnot, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, on
Destiny
the
doesn't.
whole, the game has been. I mean, they had that one time when they got DDoS.
Yeah.
But that's not their fault.
No.
I mean, other than that, the game is smooth. Any sort of game-breaking bugs, except for Atheon, that they're still waiting to
Whatever.
Still
put in
Play it
bumpers.
while you
Really
can.
I mean,
fantastic
that's
to watch happen.
that's fine. We'll just like you get a mythic class, you get a mythic class, you get a mythic class.
I
Like,
didn't get
okay,
it.
whatever, that's fine. But
I
don't
didn't
have
get a
one
mythic
yet.
class.
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
you
either,
know,
buddy. I
we'll
feel
see
you.
if they patch it.
I got a speeder
Yeah.
or sparrow.
You know, I also like the on the weeklies and the heroic how you get the arc burn and all that. Like
Mhm.
I like the modifiers that are in there. I think they could be a little bit more creative with some of the modifiers. Like imagine like think back to like old school Mario. If you could have like where the back of the map is like pushing up against you, like you have to complete this task in a certain amount of time. So you're not just hanging back and trying to snipe somebody
if they
from
had
afar.
If they had like a chest event, like
Right.
Yeah.
where it was a timed event for certain aspects of it that you got a bonus loot chest or something.
Oh,
That'd be
see,
cool.
that would be awesome.
Yeah, that would encourage a more risk reward type gameplay.
Yeah.
Because to be fair, I mean, in the Nightfall as it stands right now, like the name of the game is risk aversion. Like you do things pitifully slow and far off to try to minimize the risk, which is fine because that's kind of the game. That's kind of where they're pigeonholing you in. But like if they want to offer you sort of an additional, like, yeah, I really like that idea of having like an additional reward for completing it in a certain amount of time, kind of encouraging a little bit more risky play.
Yeah, like GoldenEye. God, why do I keep going back to old school games here? I don't know.
64. You
Golden
can't,
Age.
listen, you can't go wrong with the 64. I
But-
mean, I think we're all in agreement on that.
You remember, if you complete the campaign missions in X amount of time, you unlock cheats.
Mhm.
You know, maybe you
Oh,
unlock
yeah.
additional shaders. That little bitch that sits down over by the speaker that sells the shaders. She's had the same 4 shaders the entire time. Why?
That
Yeah.
bitch.
You don't wait. You
It
don't.
annoys me.
You don't like Polar Oak?
No.
You don't like Polar Oak?
You don't like Jester Apogee
Yeah.
or
No,
Apogee or whatever? the
However
hell
you
it's-
say it's a
I
dumb
don't
word.
know.
Yeah, whatever. I don't think that first one is a word.
Probably not. No, but I mean, yeah, like little things like that they could incorporate. But so I know that you have, kind of a little bit more of a suggestive ideas and hope or maybe directions. Not even so much like major mechanical differences, but just like little things in the game. You were talking about this earlier that you would hope for with the game.
Yeah, I mean, most of it comes down to just making, obviously the storyline stuff, but making the, I guess the bosses and the story missions just more intuitive. Make it more than just everything's a bullet sponge. Add in
Yeah.
some of these other elements. Whether it's boxes you've got to take out or portals.
You really like those
Well,
exploding
no,
boxes.
I just that was the first
fuck
experience that we
boxes.
had in that game for me.
Yeah,
and
we're for our listeners. So the Nexus.
We're just very
Yes.
anti-box at
At the end of the Nexus, we'll visualize this first run, fresh, new to the game, 12, way over our heads, too low for the level to really do a respectable amount of damage. Killed the Minotaurs, boss is spawned at the end. We're running in fear for our lives at his immense splash damage when we see explosive boxes. So in lieu of shooting the boss or the ads, we start running around shooting these boxes in hopes that if we shot them all and destroyed them all, that maybe something would happen.
like his shield would go away,
You destroyed
or
10 boxes.
you'd stun him
But
or something.
instead we died for like 3 hours.
3 hours
with a bunch
yes.
of blown up boxes.
Yeah.
Until we finally decided to leave and continued leveling. It was bad.
Yeah, I saw the group text about that night as well. Sounded like a blast.
Yeah, that was a rough night for sure. I think I stayed up until 4:00 in the afternoon. I mean, that was
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was a pretty ridiculous
That's
binge
commit,
there.
man. I would have loved to.
Something else I think I'd like to see is like the character customization. Going back to the shaders,
Yeah.
A lot of games do the customization stuff really well. And there's a limited amount of gear and weapons and stuff that you can get in this game, right? I mean, we've kind of all seen it now that you're in the upper 20s. Either your friends have it or you've been on a wiki page looking at it, whatever. But it'd be nice if you could custom paint your own stuff.
Yeah.
If you could add your own attachments.
Transmog.
Yeah, can you imagine like if you had a
That's
point
what we go.
system for guns instead of like you've got your little like level tree, right?
Mhm.
So you get extra damage, and then you've got maybe a tree or two that you can select, less recoil or adds extra rounds if you miss, right? And you got
Right.
to pick between these three. Well, what if you just said that as you unlock things, you've got 100 points to spend on a weapon, and you said you can pick adding extra ammo. You could pick less recoil, and they're worth X amount of points. So you could customize your weapon instead of being set to a preset number of things. So
Oh,
you
I
could
see what
have
you're
any
saying.
combinations. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then you're getting into PvP space. You're getting into PvE space with something completely different than somebody else mechanically, potentially. Right? Adds a whole new facet to the game that I think is pretty simple.
The only thing, what'll happen with that kind of plan, there will be a calculated best path to take for the gun.
Sure,
and
sure.
then everyone will end up with it. If you're going to use it for PvP, this is how you level that gun.
Right.
If you're going to use it for PvE, this is how you fill out that tree. So same end result, probably.
But they
I mean, I
already
would
have
say
that to
probably.
some degree when it comes
Oh,
to
yeah.
PvP. Like there already are
Mhm.
like this. You take a Suros, or you take a Shadow
Yeah.
Price, or you take a Vanquisher 8, and then you take, a comedian. Or if you're smart, you just take a Pocket Infinity. You destroy everything.
I'm going to have to finish that this afternoon.
Side note, for anyone listening, a Pocket Infinity.
Oh, boy.
Shattered Fragment, I believe, is the name of
Yes.
the quest. You have to, if you haven't already done it, save all of your blue fusion rifles for dismantling, because you're going to need them for this quest.
10 of them.
Get the Pocket Infinity, level it up, and I guarantee your PvP KD will go up by at least half.
Oh, double.
Wow.
You'll go from, if you're a 1 KD guy, you'll go to 1.5.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Just by using the gun, because it is stupid broken in PvP. And this is, trust me, I'm an average to above average PvP player. Since using the Pocket Infinity, it's ridiculous. It's a joke. Like, it's not even.
Okay, well, I have to do that then.
There we go.
This
Little
afternoon.
segue.
I have the freaking
Thank you
Pocket
for
Infinity.
listening this long. You got a little tidbit of the
Yeah,
of the
see?
secret. That's all right. Here's our new segment. I'm pitching it right now.
Jacob, let's hear it.
We'll do it next episode. Jacob's secret sauce.
Jacob's
God.
secret sauce.
Tune in for.
No, that can't be part of the intro.
Do you want a burger with Jacob's secret sauce on it?
We'll have to figure
Where I
something
slip a
else out.
little bit of a secret information to our listeners.
Okay.
Stick it around, because I know what's up, and I know what's down, and I know what's all around as well.
Okay. Excellent, I guess. I don't know how to respond to any of that.
Yeah. Well, listen, if we're gonna do a bitch fest segment, then I get to have a secret sauce segment. Speaking of which, was that a segue, Kyle?
I think it might have been.
It might have been. So we pitched it last episode, and we are now premiering it. This is apparently eventually we're just going to get to a point where we talk for 2 minutes, and then we have
Nothing but segments.
40 minutes of segments that are just phoned in by our friends, and Kyle and I are
Exactly.
just like bada boom, bing, bing, lock it up. Sponsors
Word
roll
up.
in.
Yes.
By the way, Charmin.
We
Let's
do.
talk. Let's talk about your butt.
We really should.
You really should use Charmin.
You should.
If you're using Angel Soft,
What?
go fuck yourself. If you're using like generic greater value from Walmart,
Oh,
get the fuck out of this country.
Just leave.
That's an insult. Charmin.
the American toilet paper.
CHARMIN.
I mean, everything you said was pretty offensive.
Charmin.
But also true. So I don't know how.
Yeah. So, anyway, Kyle,
Our newest segment.
you have the honors.
I do.
Yo, what up, biatch? This is Uncle Jesse's Bitch Fest. So listen up. Bitch!
Yeah, Kyle and Jacob, I got something to bitch about this week. Uncle Jesse here, and I can tell you, I am pissed the fuck off. I am so tired of wondering what my new Monarchy rep, what my Dark Orbit rep is, and having to spend 20 seconds watching my ship float through space and whatever bullshit is a loading screen, not a loading screen, whatever the fuck you want to call it, just to run all the way to the fucking reputation vendor in the tower just to tell me what my rep is. Like, what the fuck, Bungie? I'm pissed off, guys. Back to you, motherfuckers.
Okay.
Wow.
So wait a second. Can you not go in the Destiny companion app and check your rep?
You can, but should you have to?
Well,
I mean-
fuck it, it's easy.
Yeah.
It's not that
No.
hard.
I guess.
But it is a little convoluted to have to navigate, and you're also expecting that people have smartphones. What about us flip phone users? I'm still on my Motorola Razr.
Oh yeah.
circa
God, I loved that
circa
phone.
03.
I did love that phone, man.
So, yeah. Well,
I
thank
was gonna check.
thank
You're
you,
a fancy
Jesse.
guy on the
We
news.
appreciate every ounce of your bitchiness
Mhm.
that you provide us.
I'm not sure how much I appreciate being called a motherfucker at the
And
end, but
listeners, like,
just seemed like he got more angry at us than
Pretty
he did
much.
at Destiny towards
Yeah.
the end.
Anyway,
Anyways, right. So that is the first technical. I mean, I guess the first since the conception of Uncle Jesse's bitch
it
fest.
was conceived.
Since its conception, since it was conceived. But there are more of those to come as time goes on. I do want to do this. I want to give Ryan an opportunity to have his last word. What do you want our listeners to remember you for, Ryan?
I don't want to be remembered by anybody that listens to this. Good Lord.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I
All
want
right,
this to
now-
go away in the deep, dark corners of something that I did
Listen,
once.
if you want Ryan
Don't.
back on the show, send us. You can text us
Do not
at
give my number out.
972.
No, that's not.
For those of you listening
What if his whole number is just
who have
972?
managed, for those of you listening who have managed to Google the area code that I keep trying to force,
Yes, we are from Dallas,
we're from
Texas.
Dallas, Texas. If you hadn't already guessed that by how much I've plugged.
Yeah,
But no.
972.
No, but if you want Ryan back on the show, tweet us at the Restiny. Or if you want us to answer your questions, tweet us at the Restiny. Or if you want us to do a striptease on our live stream, tweet us at the Restiny. Or if you want us to die, tweet us at the Restiny. But we don't really appreciate that. That's cyberbullying. And
we don't
will
stand for that here.
report you
Better
to the
than
internet,
us.
please.
And bully you back.
They'll backtrace it. But anyway, Kyle,
Yes.
I feel like we have to do something. I feel like we have to give back.
It's important we do so much is the thing.
It's called a segue.
I know what that is.
Seamless. Those are some George Lucas like
Mm-hmm. Box
box
yeah.
picture-in-picture seamless transitions that we're working with here. Some 1984
You know,
public access television transitions we got here.
and I'll tell you, it would be awesome to give back because we felt the need for a while now. We really have. I'm not going to get the opportunity to this week, y'all.
We're not?
No, we're not because we still don't have people submitting.
Hold on.
To our Twitter.
That's a
No.
load. Let me check.
What?
Let me check our other Twitter.
No, but no.
Hold
but
on. I'm pulling up our other Twitter now.
We do,
That's
however.
the sound of typing.
That is in the 80s.
Twitter.com.
Shitty sci-fi movie.
Somebody ask Hal
Look,
what's
all right,
going on.
whoa. We have a question on our other Twitter. All right.
Okay, let's hear it.
It is from the user, definitely not Kyle.
Okay, good.
We appreciate you asking a question. So, definitely not Kyle asks, what is you guys? It's pretty bad English right off the bat. Just throwing that out there. Definitely not Kyle. What is you guys' favorite planet? Interesting. You mean in the whole solar
Yeah.
system, or do you mean in the context of Destiny?
Yeah, is
Because
it
I'm
the
a
game?
Saturn guy first and foremost,
Obviously.
but I'm guessing he means environmental wise.
Mm.
Now, are you including? We'll have to get back to you with this. Definitely not Kyle. Are you including the moon? Because
Technically.
it's not a planet.
Nope.
It's the moon. But if I'm going personally with one, I love the moon.
I do too.
I do too.
I think
But-
that is going to be my favorite.
No, my number one is definitely Venus.
Venus is really pretty. I like the flow of the moon, if that makes sense. Like I like the way the moon's laid out.
And
in
it
a
feels
circle?
it feels the most
Yeah, like
alien
for doing
too.
things. I don't know.
I think it feels
Although,
the most alien.
I am very confused, and I think I was playing with Uncle Jesse the other day, and he goes, "Why do all of the structures on the moon look like they're from like the 1970s Russia space program? Like they're all very outdated. Like this was our golden age." And like, what happened? We went back in time.
Because here's the thing: the game is taking place in the future,
Right.
but the past to us would just seem weird because it would be like still the future for us.
Yeah.
So in order to illustrate, I guess more so than the past, they're
Oh.
like, we'll make these look especially retro so you can know
They'll
they were the
identify that this
past.
is in the past. I
Yeah,
feel like that
yeah,
might have been a weird choice.
Way
Yeah.
too logical.
That's
way too logical.
That's why there was a 74, Winnebago in one of the Hell Palace
The one from Spaceballs.
Yeah. What the hell? No.
Yeah.
So
with an 8-track.
I'd love to first
Crosby,
thank
Stills, and Nash.
at.
I'm still going.
I hear that.
Still going. Still, I will not be silent.
Thank you.
I'll be quiet.
goddamn. Okay. Thank you at definitely not Kyle. So aside from that absolutely real.
Oh, we just got another one.
No,
Hold
we
on.
do not. We did not. We did have. There was actually.
I'm typing. Hold on.
How do I cut his mic? No. There was actually some. I would love to say it was some hot fire discussion about us on Reddit, but it was not the most flattering discussion about us on Reddit.
What?
There was.
Oh, I missed this.
Oh, you did, yes. Austin actually was browsing, the subreddit Destiny the Game,
Yeah.
and
Austin, for our listeners who are just tuning in for this might be their first episode.
oh, that's a good point.
Austin is a friend of ours.
And he was in episode.
He's not a 3. He was in
Three.
episode 3. He's not just some abstract idea that
made
you're
up,
just throwing
like,
out there.
at
for-
definitely not Kyle. So
Hold on. Beep, boop, beep,
No,
boop,
God
beep, boop. Should I retweet this?
damn. But there was some
I used
discussion.
the jargon. Is that how it works?
You did use the jargon, actually. I'm really proud of the retweet statement. Someone posted a post, and they were asking, hey, are there any podcasts out there regarding Destiny? I really enjoyed listening to them. And of course, the first response was the big dog, the Guardian Network. They have a lot of great podcasts. I'm not going to say anything about them. in a
Never
negative
heard of
manner.
them. Never
heard of
listened to
them.
them.
I've never heard of him
And
either.
honestly,
Well-
if we were to get in a fight, I would beat the shit out of them.
That's possible,
So
but
they
they
can-
seem like really great guys.
Let's
have
arrange
Zoom-
that. Should we
they
have him call
can-
Kyle?
Oh, boy.
972?
They can go sit on it and spin, honestly.
Oh boy, well, they seem
I
like great
spit
people.
hot fire. Let's throw down.
He does spit hot fire. It's almost a problem. But that was the first answer. But Austin did suggest that people check out betterthantherestinny.com, to which someone replied, and I'll quote, it was Shep X13. Apparently, Shep X was already taken, and there were 12 other people that had that idea. Hates the name. Hope. No, he says. I'm sorry. He said, "I hope it's a good podcast, but that's an awful name, in my opinion."
Shep.
No, hold on.
If you're listening to
he
us.
probably is, because I was able. I think I converted him. I
Oh.
got him to listen because I wrote back. I signed in with Better Than the Rest of our Twitter account, and I said, it hurts, but I'll give you the upvote. And we had a nice little banter. It ended with me listing the other names that were considered before Better Than the Rest of the ones that were even worse.
Molestiny.
Prepared
Oh,
for
God,
molestiny, bust on her chestiny. There was also 9 out of 10 dentists prefer crestiny. That was one that was not approved by the group. He liked it. He said he'd listen. So I wish him, Shep X13, as well as it was actually Lucrative, spelled Luke, like the name, that posted the comment asking about it. He said he might give us a listen. I hope he did.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, and Shep. Go fuck yourself. The name is fucking great.
Hey, it'll add 4 years to your life.
If you have a problem with it, then you can text us while Kyle's laughing and can't interject. At 214.
That's not even right.
That's
his own
mine.
number.
That's
yours.
mine. No. Anyway, whatever.
No,
just
but
listen.
it was
Just listen.
It was
We don't care.
good. It was
Talk shit
good.
about the name. Talk
Yeah.
shit about how horrible I am.
That's-
Just
the internet's-
listen.
The internet's great for
Because then
that.
Charmin will pay us the money for the ad plugs. Thank you.
Yeah, we're
That's
just gonna keep plugging them.
how the
until
economy
they pay.
works.
Rent on this studio must be ridiculous.
Oh, it's
by the way.
insane. Yeah, 18th floor. We
Dude,
have
do
all.
Do you
18
see
of them.
these acoustics? Like this is not, this is expensive. This is high grade stuff.
No, and temperature control is phenomenal.
Amazing in
My
here.
balls are not sweating right now.
No, it's
No,
not
not at all.
110 degrees in this tiny ass room. Not at all.
Anyway.
So, I hope that they did listen. I hope they
So-
enjoyed it. That's
It's a
the point.
weird episode.
It is a very strange episode.
Paul threw me off, man, with those.
right in the middle.
God.
Now, there are other things though that I want to talk about. Other things that are actually going to be coming from us. This might be news to Jacob.
So, full disclosure to the listeners, we have a pre-show meeting. Kyle puts a lot of effort into
Mhm.
creating sort of a workflow
He
and,
definitely
and a
does.
discussion point, and maybe touching on, who our guests are that day and
Mhm.
whatever. I literally just wake up and show up drunk and
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting.
talk out of my
dynamic.
ass for an hour. And I think that's a good dynamic for us.
Mhm. It seems to be working.
It's like the Pinky and the Brain. It's like
It.
Harold and Kumar. It's like Turner and Hooch.
I guess it's like
the
those
great dynamic duos. It's like Casey and JoJo.
There it is. There's more, I'm sure.
It's like
I'm going to let you go.
could just
I'm gonna
go
let it
on
go.
forever, but I'm running out of it. So.
So I couldn't literally go on forever.
It's like Crosby and Stills and fuck Nash. Like, honestly,
fuck Nash.
get that guy out of here.
But there are a lot of things coming our way. I don't even know how to control you today. We're actually going to, and this is spawned from, we have Jesse, who is currently he's our primary Twitch streamer. He streams on Twitch, if better than the rest of you is streaming. Hopefully down the line we'll get a few of our other guys to do some streaming so you
I'm
can have a
down.
variety. Yeah, Jacob's down. I'd be down if
I'll
you want
do
to
it.
watch some bad people. There we go. Ryan's in. So there's going to be some change that comes to the Twitch stream. However, with Jesse streaming, there's been a lot of there've been people asking for YouTube content. They want to watch. They enjoyed watching Jesse play. They enjoy possibly just listening in on our raids and all the different things that we stream that are usually just bullshit. They've enjoyed it. There's actually been people that have enjoyed it and requested
terrifying.
more. It's insane.
Wow.
It's a crazy world.
Wow.
So we're going to put together some YouTube content. I say we. I am going to put no. We're going to put
There we
together
go.
some.
There we go.
There's going to be a few different things that I hope to bring on YouTube. So for right now, what I'll do is I'll say be on the lookout. There will be new content on YouTube. I will say we're going to start putting our podcast on YouTube. It's a great way. Some people don't necessarily have the ability to listen to it other ways. YouTube's a great way for people to listen to it, as well as get our name out there, potentially. You can go to our website and you have links to all of these things that I've just described to you. You can get to our YouTube page, our Twitch stream. You can subscribe in the Apple iTunes, listen to the podcast.
You can always also find us in game again. We're an Xbox One clan. Sorry to our PlayStation brethren and our Xbox 360 brethren. But yeah, find us in game. Shoot us a friend invite. Harass us in the tower with jumping and
Some of
hitting
that
us
stuff.
with the purple ball. If you see us, it is what it is. But for those looking for us on Xbox, you can find me, Jacob. My Xbox Live gamer tag is Your Pal Rabbit, all one word.
Kyle here, and my Xbox gamer tag is Taslantic.
How do you spell that?
TASLANTIC.
You thought about it. You had
It's a
You had a
question.
little hiccup.
So I'll throw mine out there, I guess.
There it is. Sure, you're on the spot. You can
Yeah.
be the only guest ever to not.
Ugh. I don't like people though. I don't want friends. God. No, I'm Texas Terror, all one word, spelled exactly the way it should be.
Yeah.
Excellent.
The way
Excellent. The way
the
it
way
should be.
God intended your gamer tag to be
doesn't
I'm
necessarily
probably-
mean
yeah.
correct, but the way it should be.
Yeah.
shooting stuff in the background. Sorry,
I'm probably under supervision from Homeland Security for that.
Possibly.
Just
I
so
could see
anybody
that
wants to
being
be
Not a
my,
good idea.
my friend, just be aware there may be downstream impact.
Well, I think we've done it. We're at the end.
Better Than the Destiny is a good fucking name.
That's what Jacob wants you to.
I'm hurt by that comment, man.
Well, I hope that
It digs deep.
it's a deep wound. It's over, man. I'm out
You're
of
gonna have to rethink your tattoo now.
the face tattoo we were all gonna get,
Yeah, I got a tattoo on my face
which is weird.
slightly askew, so that I just stand outside of 3D movies.
It
and
looks like a 3D.
so the
movie.
people that steal the glasses, I'm just put them back. They freak the fuck
Holy
out.
shit, that guy's in 3D.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
It's crazy.
No, go like us, rate, review, subscribe.
Please,
Please tweet us.
please.
We love it. We had some decent interaction not too long ago with Ethereal Riot. Enjoyed it.
Wow, you're just name dropping like crazy.
We miss you.
Yeah, for real though, we will name drop the shit out of you if you think about the tens of 20s of people.
Yeah, there's a decent
who-
amount of people
who
to
you
listen.
could be a big deal to.
There you go. I was like, where's this
that doesn't
going?
make sense.
dot dot dot. I had to get a little ellipsis in there just to set
Dramatic
it up.
pause.
Well, that's going to do it then. Another great episode. Ryan, thank you for being here.
Thanks
Yes,
for having
Ryan,
me, guys.
thank you
I
for-
appreciate it.
Getting in here.
Next week we have another episode and another Ryan.
That won't be confusing in the
Not
slightest.
at all. I timed this
Should've given me a
perfectly.
At all.
I know. Well, yeah. since the next Ryan's my brother, I'm thinking I'm just going to call him Shit Zipper the entire,
Shit Zipper,
entire
done.
episode.
Done.
Is there a story behind Why would one zip shit?
Ask him. We'll have him on next week.
Well, stay tuned. There's our teaser. Stick with us.
But again,
We love you.
I'm
Smooches.
Kyle. Oh, you are ruining the outro. Ruining it.
I'm Jacob.
I'm Kyle.
I'm
God.
I thought we started over again.
Oh, no, there's no edit.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
I'm Kyle,
I'm Jacob.
I'm Ryan.
and we are better than the rest of me. Peace.
Legends in the making, they fight. Kyle and Jacob will lead you tonight. So lay down your arms, there's no chance of victory. You punk ass bitches, they're better than the rest.